From family events to volunteer opportunities to community happenings, there is a lot going on in your community. Learn about all the possibilities and opportunities on this episode of Community Hotline.
Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel, and we're here at Metro East Community Media. Tonight, we're going to be talking with a couple different organizations that are doing good works in your community, so I'm glad you're here to join us. And don't forget, the Community Hotline has a Facebook page, so be sure to check it out and like us there. Tonight, I want to start out with the Portland Female Executives. We have with us Marina Peterson, who is with Portland Female Executives. Welcome.
Thank
Now,
you.
are you still the president?
I am still
you
the
are
president.
still the president.
Yes.
Good deal. And Benna Gottfried, Benna, Development and Marketing Director for Girls Inc.
Hello.
Nice to have you here. So we have twofold here. We have a couple different organizations that we want to talk to, and we'll talk about the relationship between the two of you. But Marina, maybe I can start with you. You've been on here before.
I have.
Actually, I think
last
you
year.
were like my very first guest on my very first show.
And I was just the current president then.
Yes,
so.
you were, yes. So welcome back. Tell me a little bit, for those who maybe missed that show, what Portland Female Executives is all about and what you do.
Sure. We're a professional women's networking group, so we are focusing on business women in the community. And we meet for educational series once a month, every third Tuesday of the month. And we bring in speakers and educational topics that are really guided towards leadership and executives and management type, kind of climbing the ladder.
Good, good. So, I mean, there's obviously a need for that, otherwise
There
you wouldn't
is.
be in existence.
I know, right?
Yeah. How has your organization grown in the last year?
We have, actually. Our programs have shifted a little bit more to a varied management style, so it's not just one sort of focus.
Okay.
And then for our membership, we've actually grown 30%.
Wow, that's good. That's good news.
I like to think so.
Yeah. So the seminars or workshops that you have once a month,
Sure.
give me an example of maybe a recent one.
Well, actually, we call them educational series,
Okay.
and they are. We actually just had one last night, which is the third Tuesday of the month.
Right.
And we had a HR focus, how not to, as managers, lead your team astray, and how to really work through problem solving and communication and all the barriers that are there with them. Things that we almost, think are second nature, but when you're in the workplace, sometimes don't come as nice as they should. And so we had our speaker, Jennifer Bowman-Stiegel, talk to us about how to better appropriately, say things, and yeah.
It can be very tricky.
It really
Very
is,
tricky.
and having her there, really, as her background is law, was really a shift of like what to make sure that you're not doing as a business or an employer or a manager.
Sure, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble if you don't know the right way to approach employees and staff. So
Exactly.
That's important stuff. So, now, as Portland Female Executives, you have a partnership every year with a nonprofit organization. Now, last year it was Girls Incorporated.
Yes.
My understanding is this year it is Girls
It
Incorporated.
is.
So,
Yes.
so obviously, this is an organization that you feel is important.
We do. We really like what they're doing. We think their message and the mentorship is exactly in line with what we're trying to do as women, and supporting them is really.
So what does that mean? When you say you support them and they're your partners, what does that mean?
As a charitable partner, we are helping raise funds for them, awareness for them, volunteering, any sort of, I guess, a partnership. Support
that's
that we
great.
can do.
Good deal. I imagine you appreciate that, huh,
Oh, we
Benna?
do. We love Portland Female Executives.
Good deal. Now, I think we have a video that I want to show that talks a little bit about Girls Inc. and how it is.
It's kind of
set
the
it up for
story
me.
of one girl's experience with Girls Inc. of Northwest Oregon, and kind of gives the an example of the impact that our program can have on a girl's life.
Wonderful. Well, I think we should go ahead, before I talk to you anymore, let's go ahead and take a look at that clip now.
Sounds good.
Okay.
That I can take with me, and I will always tell younger kids, is just be strong, just be positive, don't be negative, because being negative is not going to help you. But being strong and positive always help you. And don't forget, always speak your mind. Hi, my name is Justin. This is my story, how Girls Inc. helped me. I grew up in Ghana. I didn't have like a lot of woman figure in my life because I grew up with my dad. And I came to the moment that I really needed my mom the most, and she wasn't there. And I came to the United States when I was 15. I always wanted to be in the U.S. I thought like it was the land of opportunity, like everybody says. And when we got here, everything was fine. 2 years later, everything was fine. My 3 years, thing was just like really difficult. Things started changing. When I turned 18, I got kicked out of the house. And I used to move from place to place, like sleep from home to home. But then I was still going to school. And we have our school counselor, her name is Miss Amy. And she was like, I think it's going to be really nice if you guys join the Girls Inc. So we went to the next Girls Inc. meeting, and then it was just like, from that moment on, it was just like amazing. I really like it. And we get to like talk about brave women that make changes, the U.S. and in the world, and it just like inspired me. And yeah, from there on, I was just addicted to Girls Inc. I get to know some of my schoolmates I never ever even talked to at school. They had to share like their personal life story to me, and I just decided, I was like, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it too. So I opened up and I told them my story, and we just like, we all bond, and it was just like really amazing. I'm not like the only person out there that going through a lot. They have a lot of people that go through a lot more than I do. When I started my internship at Girls Inc., the first week was really amazing. I was doing good. At that time, I was staying at my auntie's house. It was still difficult. It was a lot of drama at my auntie's house, but I was trying to deal with it like the way I've been dealing with it since I was 18. I've been dealing with it, so I was trying to do it by myself. I tried to do it by myself, but then it came to the point that I couldn't do it anymore. I was just like, that I needed to talk to someone, and it's really hard for me to open up to people, to tell people like my personal stuff, like what I'm going through, because I don't want people to feel sorry for me. So I talked to Elizabeth, and she talked to Benna, and then they helped me. Yeah, they found me a place to live. Came to the point in life I was so done with life. I gave up because I was like, I'm tired of doing this on my own. Like, I feel like nobody cares. I was just so tired. I got my life back, and I'm really grateful. Girls Inc. have changed me a whole lot, make me to be a better person, actually. It opened my eyes. There is a lot more opportunities, a lot more things you can do and to inspire girls. And I feel like I'm with people that like cared about me. I'm with people that want to see me being successful. I want to go try new things because I have like so much dreams. I want to be a leader. I want to be able to change stuff. When I'm at Girls Inc., I feel like I'm home.
Quite a story, quite a story. So this is probably, is this typical of girls that you work with at Girls Inc.?
Well, it's, not everyone has Justine's story, but our mission is to inspire all girls to be strong, smart, and bold. And that is definitely
strong, smart, and bold.
And that is definitely what Justine is, and we hope that all of the girls in our program are inspired to be strong, smart, and bold. And you know what? That's why we like partnering with Portland Female Executives, because
strong,
all of the women
bold,
in their group are strong, smart, and bold. So,
the ones I've met so far, yes, that's true.
And they provide great role models for our girls.
Good.
So, yeah.
So give me a little history on Girls Inc. Do you know how it got started and what the background story is?
So Girls Inc. has over 100 years of history nationally.
Wow.
There used to be Boys Clubs of America and Girls Clubs of America, and then they formed the Boys and Girls Club. Right. But then there was a group of people who still thought that there was a need for gender-specific programming for girls, a space for girls only, and so they created Girls Incorporated. And so nationally, Girls Inc. has been around as Girls Clubs of America and then later as Girls Inc. for quite a long time, but we've only been in Portland since 1998. We started with a different name in 1998 and then joined the national organization in 2002.
That's still pretty good long history.
Definitely.
That's wonderful. Now you've been there, what, about a year, you said?
I've been there about a year, yeah.
Okay. And so why is Girls Inc. important to you, besides obviously being your job? I mean, what draws you to that organization?
Well, it's an organization that strives to support every girl and to bring up every girl. And I was a girl at one point, and I think
you probably still are, but
I'm a woman.
Yes,
but I can really see what the impact of that program can be, and I can really understand why it's so important. And there are a lot of wonderful organizations doing a lot of great work in this city, but this is one that I can really relate to personally and see, when I was in 7th grade and how much a program like Girls Inc. would have helped me. So
I can see that. So it's not just for at-risk girls or girls that are top of their class or anything like that. It's for every girl.
All girls, because there's no girl in the world who doesn't, see the messages from the media on TV telling them about how they should look and how they should think. And there's no girl in the world who doesn't either witness bullying or is a bully or is the victim of bullying. And, there's no girl in the world who has never, heard things about how girls don't need to do well in science. All of these things are things that our Girls Inc. curriculum are trying to address. And it's not just about, being the most at risk. It's any girl can benefit from our program. Yeah.
And there's talk about at-risk youth, and that is definitely a realistic demographic, but every girl and every person is at risk at some time in their life for something, and being a teenager or middle school and high school in those years are really difficult, and for girls that have different needs, I think. So it sounds like Girls Inc. is really addressing a lot of those.
It is, and we are serving many of the high-need communities in the Portland area, and that's definitely where our focus has been, but we'd like to be able to bring our program to more girls.
So how do people get involved with Girls Inc.?
How do girls get involved with girls?
Yes.
So
if I was a girl and I heard about it and wanted to get involved, what would I do?
Well, Girls Inc. of Northwest Oregon is working on a site-based model. So we implement our program after school at school sites and community sites around the greater Portland area. Last year we had 17 groups and scattered throughout Portland and Washington County.
Okay.
And so right now, the girls who go to those schools are able to be a part of our girls groups. We launched our first site at the community center at Southwest Community Center in Southwest Portland, where there was open enrollment for girls to join that group.
Are you thinking about increasing more of those?
We would like to do more of those, and that's definitely a goal for the future.
So what are some of your needs? You say your goal is to expand, I think, and grow to other people. Do you be available to other girls? Do you have a need for volunteers in your organization? Do you need donations for your organization?
Every organization needs volunteers and donations. So yes and yes. We have some great opportunities for people to get involved as volunteers, to become co-facilitators of our after-school girls groups. So each of our groups are led by a paid trained Girls Inc. facilitator, and she can often be joined by a co-facilitator who is a volunteer, just to help. When you have 15 girls and one facilitator, sometimes it's helpful.
It's a bit overwhelming, I imagine.
And it helps to have a more personal experience with each girl. So so there's that opportunity, and then we also have monthly enrichment outings, part of our Girls Take Off series, where the girls get to go on outdoor wilderness adventures once a month. And we always are looking for volunteer chaperones on those trips. And there's, help
sounds like there's
opportunities for board involvement, ambassador board involvement.
Good.
Special event planning, all kinds of things.
That sounds wonderful. And what are the age ranges for the girls?
We serve girls ages 8 to 18.
Okay, good. Yeah. Wonderful. We're almost out of time. Marina, tell me a little bit more before we go about what Portland Female Executives has coming up. You have the Tuesday.
So
third
we meet
Tuesday?
so we meet every third Tuesday of the month, and we did just have our event last night.
Right.
So our next event is the 19th of July.
Good.
And we will be doing a networking event at Avenue 5 Jewelers. So we actually have a partnership that is hosting us. So that will be fun. Cocktails and communicating and
Sounds
all
good.
the good
Sounds like
stuff.
a fun time. Good. Well, that went very fast.
Yes.
And these are both wonderful organizations, and I love that you've partnered together. I think there's
Thank
strength
you.
in the numbers and the partnering. So if people are interested, they can go to your websites. We should have that information on the screen, and they can find out all about Portland
Great.
Female Executives and Girls Inc. of the Northwest.
Girls Inc. of Northwest Oregon.
Northwest Oregon. Okay, good. Thank you, Benna. Thank you,
Thank
Marita,
you.
for
Thank
being
you.
on here. So that was our segment, first segment of Community Hotline. Don't forget, we're on Facebook, they're on Facebook, they're on Facebook. So be sure to check us all out and like us. We also have a blog site. You might want to check that out too. And if you have questions for either of these organizations, you can ask them there. So don't go away. We'll be right back in a few minutes with one more segment for you to check out on Community Hotline.